former State Department official David Tafuri says it is about time. I see and hear where you're coming from, Dave. My big worry is, should we worry about these guys coming together and forming one big, massive army?
Well, it's a really interesting development, and your previous interview on Iran frames part of the context. But the rest of the context is that the Middle East has suddenly become very dynamic. The Middle East and the border stayed the same for the last 25 to 30 years, but over the last few years, everything has changed. With the Arab Spring and then the withdrawal of U.S. troops from the rise of ISIS, its invasion of Iraq, and now the ascension of Iran as a real player and a destabilizer in the Middle East, particularly in Yemen now. So there is a requirement for a Sunni Arab force, I believe, as a counterpoint to Iran and Iran's influence, in particular in Yemen, but also in Iraq and in Syria, where we really need moderate Sunnis and perhaps a Sunni fighting force that can stabilize the areas that are currently held by ISIS. Even if we can clear ISIS out of places like Mosul in Iraq, there's going to have to be a Sunni force that has some legitimacy to stabilize it. So it's very important, and it really is about time that some of our Sunni Arab allies begin to take up the slack with respect to providing security in the region.
I see where you're coming from, but I'm looking at this force. So you got Egypt, you've got Qatar, you've got the UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Morocco, Jordan, Pakistan. That doesn't instill much confidence. Sudan, Turkey, and on and on. I'm just wondering, are these guys together better than dealing right now, I guess, with ISIS on its own?
Well, it's not without its obstacles, for sure. There are major questions. Can these countries work together? Can they be successful without a U.S. partner as sort of providing leadership?
Can they?
I think we don't know. It's going to depend on how much resources do they put into it, how determined are they to make it successful. Is one country going to step up and provide leadership? Perhaps that could be Saudi Arabia. And is there going to be funding? Countries like Saudi Arabia and Qatar and UAE are probably going to have to provide a lot of the funding for countries like Egypt and Jordan to participate. But there is certainly the possibility that they could cooperate. Can they be successful militarily? It's really going to put their ability on the line, and we don't know.
No, we don't. David, thank you very much. Good.